welcome you guys and say shout out. What's going on, guys? I must tell you that Mnangagwa is firing back to Chiwenga. You know, it's interesting. Mabo, allegations are she's got a child with Emmerson Mnangagwa, who is the president of the republic. You know, there's a lot going on social media, a lot of discussions. One of the things that I love really as far as Zimbabwe is concerned is actually the ability that we are having now to converse honestly and honestly. I love that. I guess Comrade Geza, the Geza Revolution, opened the platform for us to really deal with important issues. And I'm super excited. I must tell you, some are saying ZANU-PF structures needs to be destroyed in order for us to be able to serve Zimbabwe. Let me know if you can hear me well. Just comment in the comment section your location, please. I want to know what you are watching us from. I must tell you, the Politburo had a meeting. Quite interesting outcomes there that we need to discuss. I must tell you also, even Nyoka Mabuni is back, saying a lot of things on social media, and I want you guys to actually analyze. I must say, Zimbabwe is a very interesting nation, but like I mentioned earlier on, I'm excited because I know you can only find truth and find each other when you converse, notwithstanding the way people are conversing, but what's more important is Zimbabweans are now speaking up. Okay, so before I actually proceed into the nitty-gritties as we move along with our show this morning, I want to say some of you just stumble upon this channel. Okay, you're just passing through. Please subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell so that at least every time I'm live or I just gonna come here, please, you're definitely going to be robbed here so that you converse with me. And I say to my regular shout out, I'm seeing almost 200 people just pressing the button as we're starting the show. It makes me excited and thank you for the support. I must say to you guys, do not forget, thumbs up the video. It's all we're gonna do, just thumbs up. Just thumbs up the video, brothers and sisters, because every Zimbabwean need to have a say. Okay, a lot of conversations in the background, but what's more important is that you are also part of the conversation. It makes me proud. Please pass your comments respectfully, so remember, it's very crucial. Thumbs up the video. All of y'all, 200 people, just press the button and now I love you. I really do. All right, guys. Emmerson Mnangagwa was humiliated. Okay, when I say humiliated, that is in Namibia at the funeral of Semuyoma. I'm sorry, guys. Everyone will be greeted and he's just standing there. My heart broke. And I'm like, okay, guys, I can't wait for me to have all the setup so that you are able to see the videos. When I'm like, look at that. Come back. Look at that. It's coming very soon. I'm waiting. I've ordered the stuff, waiting for them to be delivered. It's quite exciting. The future is so bright. It is very bright. I must also tell you, good guys, ZANU-PF, the only thing they know, the weapon that they have is violence and threats. That's Mnangagwa for you. Right now, he has started. We expect him to actually talk about important things. The guy's crazy. He started to swear and scream, threatening people. And, you know, what an interesting character. But I want to take a listen to Emmerson Mnangagwa, please, speaking to the, he's talking to mature people, not to kids, to mature people. And he's furious. Take a listen, please.
Comrades, the enemy is the enemy. 6s and 7s.
The enemy, sir.
We defeated them yesterday.
Wow.
We defeated them today. And we will defeat them tomorrow. It is therefore a practical necessity for every member of our party to boldly defend our party, ZANU-PF, and promote its constitution, its ideals and values. All structures must therefore remain steadfast, united and vigilant in safeguarding our party. Unfortunate and misplaced narratives that seek to distort facts as well as stir up division and discord should not be given a footing in our body politic. True cadres of the party are clear on the correct line of our revolution, our party history, our values and our traditions. Do not be clouded or misled by wolves in sheep's clothing, abusing our rich liberation heritage for their own divisive ends. Well, members of ZANU-PF, by day, and the ZANU-PF by night, not merely when it is convenient, but we must remain loyal day or night, sleeping or awake, and not when it is convenient or expedient to do so. At no time should we, as the party leadership, question you about your sense of commitment, your sense of duty and loyalty. Zvibvunze pachako pauri papo tokamira sei. All the leagues of the party are urged to implement programs that raise the state of our national consciousness. Party members must be taught the correct line, discipline and protocols of the party. We are a party of order and a party of discipline. The leadership from the Politburo, as well as provinces, districts, branches, and village and cells, are directed to complement the Chitepo School of Ideology and deliberately roll out initiatives that will instill the appropriate decorum, values, and discipline within the rank and file of the party wherever we are. These critical aspects should ensure that our party ZANU-PF grows stronger and remains dominant for posterity.
Remains stronger and remain dominant for posterity.
ZANU-PF musangano wevanhu, musangano weruzhinji rweZimbabwe, hausi wako wega. We have a duty to stay with the people, listening to them, and helping them to develop solutions that deliver a higher quality of life. We should not confuse them unless you yourselves are confused. Unity, peace and development, as the guiding motto of ZANU-PF, must never be treated as a mere rhetoric, but an unending exhortation that propels our party and motherland forward. Our love for the party and the people of Zimbabwe must be reflected through selfless efforts to serve, build our economy, and consolidate the gains realized so far and our Second Republic. Our strength lies in our unity. Let us now turn to our today's agenda, I think.
All right, Mnangagwa is adamant. He's adamant to actually pass the baton of toxicity, of corruption, of evil that he's currently, functional. He is so adamant because he's telling you that we need to remain intact. Who is referring to? It's just like a group of guys who support his interests. It has nothing to do with Zimbabwe, nothing to do with the masses, because 99% of Zimbabweans want Mnangagwa go, including those that were actually in the Politburo yesterday. They want him gone. The seriousness, do you see Chiwenga's face? But they also know how to save a fake face. Chiwenga was serious. People are serious in the end. Mnangagwa, no. He knows that what's going on the streets, especially the Gaza revolution, is very clear that he is not fit for purpose. Zimbabweans in general are also adamant he's not fit for purpose. I, as Rumbi, I've been addressing Mnangagwa as not fit for purpose. He's a waste of time. This is why I question the ability of ZANU-PF in totality as a party. Am I crazy to say ZANU-PF structure must be ruined, destroyed in totality to actually be able to serve the brand Zimbabwe? Majority of people agree with me, even on social media as well. But I want you to know that one of the reasons why Dara, I'm talking about Blessed Mutlanga, is in prison. Shout out to Dara. I pray for him in prison. He is in prison as we speak, right? His inmate number is 2344. I want you to pass hashtag free Blessed Mutlanga hashtag, because Mnangagwa's people come here and they take report back to him. Mr. Mnangagwa, free Dara out of prison. He is a father, innocent father, hard-working man, committed to make Zimbabwe a better place. But because you think everything that does not suit your narrative is evil. You think everyone who speaks truth to power need either to be jailed, need to be abducted, tortured, or eliminated. That's what you believe in, Mr. Sir. Take Mr. Dara out of prison and let him go back to his family and save his wife and become a father to generations. It's very sad though, because Mnangagwa dines with his family. If it's his birthday, you see him, grandchildren, daughter-in-laws, but he thinks Zimbabweans do not deserve a normal life. It's only him who should be seen living a better life. It's a sad situation. But I want to read what Trevor Nguve sent out to Mnangagwa. He said the army, police, teachers, and nurses will be able to receive their salaries from the post office end of this month because of Dara's reporting. All taxpayers owe Dara gratitude because his journalism stopped the theft of POSB by senior civil servants and powerful politicians. The corruption goes right to the top. Good investigative journalism can stop this corruption even in the absence of a strong political opposition. Can you see that? Dara is being persecuted because he spoke about the POSB that Mnangagwa and his buddies were almost looting. You also saw that there's a woman called Mabiza who is actually, is she Attorney General, sorry my bad. Yeah, she's also being robbed in the saga. And this Mabiza, I think she's very close to Emmerson Mnangagwa, right? She's very close. I'm going to read the article. That is 70 million POSB, bank robbery. I said 70 million US dollars. Okay, 70 million. Was almost being looted like a week ago when Dara interviewed Jealous Mawarire. Now the question I have is, Jealous Mawarire who leaked the information, why is he not being arrested? That's the question. Why Dara? Why not Jealous Mawarire? You know, the way dirty politics play in ZANU-PF pisses me off. It does piss me off. I'm telling you, it does piss me off. Because it makes me question their ability to actually be able to lead. Forget about the shenanigans. When I talk about leadership is, under normal circumstances, Mnangagwa wouldn't do all this that he's doing. Arresting innocent people, he wouldn't. Because men and women who stand firm and say, sir, not under our watch. But Zimbabwe is a different country, right? People do as they pleases and they get away with it. Mugabe came in the space, a lot of atrocities in the 80s. People were killed, abducted during all these political campaigns. But listen, one thing that Mugabe never did, and listen to me, no wonder why I can never forgive him, was actually apologize to the people of Zimbabwe. You see, South Africa is not a perfect country, but there's just something so unique about them. De Klerk, who was actually part of the ruthless regime that caused chaos in South Africa, apologized before his death. He did a national address and he sent an apology to the people of South Africa to say, we are sorry, we hate you. But no, in Zimbabwe's situation, they will hurt, they will kill, they will torture. No apology. Except right now, only Geza stood up. I'm talking about Comrade Geza. He's the only one who said, we apologize for removing Mugabe and replacing him with a monster, referring to Emmerson Mnangagwa. But this Emmerson Mnangagwa is not stopping at anything except to keep on executing evil. He is the one behind the arrest of Dara. Emmerson Mnangagwa is the commander-in-chief. So he has powers to call right now the police commissioner or call whoever, the judiciary, and say, yo, take this guy out of prison immediately. But he won't do it. You know why? Because he knows that he's being robbed in this entire saga of 70 million US dollars that was almost being looted via POSB. Again, it's him endorsing it by his Attorney General, my lady, and her name is Virginia, Attorney General Virginia Mabiza. I'm going to read the short article piece that I picked up. So, President Emmerson Mnangagwa and Attorney General Virginia Mabiza are under intense fire for their handling of the attempt to sell of 70% stake in the state-owned People's Own Savings Bank. Listen, okay. A deal now mired in controversy and allegations of impropriety, the news Hawkesbury has reported. The proposed sale, which would see the stake transferred from the Mutapa Investment Fund. Bear in mind, the change of Mutapa Sovereign Fund, Zimbabwe Sovereign Fund's name to Mutapa. That again raised an eyebrow last year, about a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. Remember social media discussing this. Why is Mnangagwa changing the Zimbabwe Sovereign Fund name to Mutapa Investment Fund? It was very deliberate, intentional, so that when they loot in peace. You know, people cannot pick up immediately to say, oh no, but that's Zimbabwe Sovereign Fund. Because imagine if it is, if I am Rumbi, then you know me, Rumbi, right? Rumbi Uncensored. Someone can come here and say, and put a name that is not Rumbi Uncensored, but still represent this political, this place, this channel. You may find it difficult to actually acknowledge that that is me, right? But if they said Rumbi Uncensored, it's quick to say, oh, that's why people are using my name to drive their stupid agenda, hoping that I'm going to keep quiet, you know, trying to soil my name. Listen, my name can't be soiled because it's a seed. Once you soil me, I germinate. I germinate, right? All right, so here, Mnangagwa and Virginia Mabiza, accused of the 70 million heist. He has serious concerns about transparency, due diligence, and the potential risks of depositors in the country's financial stability. The government would retain a mere 10% stake, with private individuals holding the remaining 20%. Listen, so private individuals were supposed to get 20%, while the country only get 10%. Does that sound weird to you? Do not forget that even our minerals, you may be surprised that sometimes we get 0.01%. We don't know how many percent we get when these foreigners are looting the country dry. Right? We are losing daily under the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa. It's a sad situation. So they're saying one senior official at the Ministry of Finance questioned the judgment of the President and Attorney General, stating, it is clear that those are scammers. How can a president who calls himself a lawyer and a whole Attorney General fall for such an obvious scam? Okay. One senior official at the Ministry of Finance questioned the judgment of the President and Attorney General, stating, it is clear those are scammers. How can a president who calls himself a lawyer, remember he calls himself a constitutionalist, and a whole attorney general, remember, there are people who are getting jobs in the government, they're not qualified enough, but they simply buy doctorates now. If you can see the expose that are going on now by the guy Manyoa, he's exposing these guys and how they've been buying doctorates just to cement their positions like, I'm a qualified person. Oh, I've got bad news for you. You don't actually need a degree to be a good leader. You just need the love for humanity to be a good leader. You don't need to have a degree. You need to love. You're not a manager, you're a leader. Leaders are not managers. Managers are different to leaders. Okay, very different. But in the midst of all this saga, forget about the POSB. How many scandals and how many looting vehicles that we have witnessed, be it local, talk of international. I remember centric reports, talk about different reports from London, South Africa. I remember one of the reports stating that during the night of the coup, there was a money transferred by Mugabe's children, was almost 100 million in rands, was overnight during the time of the coup. You remember the monies that were caught people in their bags? We are talking about the shenanigans of ZANU-PF party and their failures to actually be able to lead the people of Zimbabwe. But one thing that disturbed me was the fact that Malava, okay, first and foremost, who came back even his term had expired, illegally so, but endorsed by Emmerson Mnangagwa. He's out here now, bastardizing Mnangagwa, throw him under the bus. But again, just sound like how Zimbabweans operate. Most of the times when they know that, no, this ship is sinking, the ship is sinking. They're like Peter when he denied Jesus. They're all of a sudden moving. I genuinely believe it's sponsored. Okay, I believe it is sponsored because the coincidence is very disturbing. It is worrisome. It baffles me. Okay, be it now the Malava who is speaking ill of the regime. Okay, the government. We're also looking at on the other side in the church space. I'm gonna deal with that one on this because I want to open people's eyes to see what's really going on behind the curtains. Because you don't see everything is all planned. It's a game for these guys. It's a joke. But I want you to listen to what Malava said. Malava is throwing Emmerson Mnangagwa under the bus. Okay? And Mnangagwa is coming here threatening people, but he doesn't know that the ship is already sunk. But listen to what Malava said. Take a listen, please.
The dilemma of today is that offices are occupied by the wrong people. That is the dilemma of today. The wrong people are occupying public offices. That is why we have corruption. Because those people have not redefined to the level required by public office. They have remained themselves, looking at the relatives, looking at where they come from, which tribe they belong to, who has the name similar to them. That is the level of individualism. That is the level of self-interest. That is the level of selfishness. And that is a recipe for corruption. So how do we resolve it? How do you disentangle it? How do you correct this? You occupy public office to serve the people and transform the mind and understand and think and create things and see the vision presented by the law.
I have one question. Does Malava have moral authority to bastardize Emerson Mnangagwa? I said, does Malava have moral authority to actually be able to bastardize Emerson Mnangagwa? I don't think so. You know why? There's been a whole lot of dubious judgments from the courts. And Malava, he is the Chief Justice. Okay. As my understanding in South African communities, the Chief Justice is more powerful than the President. But in Zimbabwe, in Zimbabwe, it's the President is powerful than the Chief Justice. But it's a vice versa thing. So the Chief Justice is more powerful in South Africa. Now, I'm asking you a question. Malava, not first and foremost, he broke the odds by coming back illegally, sir, and reinstated as the Chief Justice. There's been a whole lot of people, incarcerated for years, and I'm talking about my brother Job Sikala, who wrong. And not only a lot of guys, you remember the Triple C were just having lunch. It's like Zimbabweans don't deserve to live. Malava was at the forefront of endorsing those judgments. As the chief, he has got the power to say, yo, this is not how we operate here. We must never forget that last year, or a year before last year, if I can remember correctly, that we saw a number of people being interviewed. Some of them didn't even know how to answer the questions. Most of them were employed because they were related to ZANU-PF bigwigs. Immediately, they got bought expensive top-of-the-range Range Rovers. Okay, you understand me? Hospitals are languishing in deplorable conditions, right? People are starving to death as we speak. Young people are dragged to the core, and everything was all intentionally so to keep Zimbabwe in bondage so they don't question this ruthless, incompetent, pathetic, disgusting, wicked, satanic, diabolical regime. They didn't want to be questioned. You understand me? That's one of the reasons why they dragged the youth. Make it make sense to me. Does he even have moral authority, though, to actually speak right now? But here's the thing. He has seen that, oh, my God, this ship of Mnangagwa is sinking, and everyone's language now has changed because ZANU-PF people are so deceptive. Because most of them can say, Mnangagwa, it's over now. They are now aligning themselves with Chiwenga across the streets. Or I'm talking about what people are saying. They're saying Chiwenga. These are what people are just saying. We don't know what's going on in the background. Yeah, okay, you see this. I'm going to deal with the issue of Chiwenga later on in the evening, preferably. So that we dig into it and come up with resolutions. Zimbabweans need to speak with one voice. Are we prepared to work with this toxicity, or we want this country to move in the direction that helps everyone? I am for Malava do not have moral authority, because I'm a person who believes that once you accommodate or you look sideways when evil happens next to you, it says a lot about your leadership skills. You see that, right? You see that. This is why I question the ability of ZANU-PF in totality to actually be able to resuscitate Zimbabwe. Because so many wrong things happened, and they still turn their blind eye. So a brother can be beaten, a brother can be killed, a brother can be abducted. I saw a heartbreaking interview. I don't know if you guys can be able to go and watch it. Incredible. At Citizen Voice Network. That was for Namate Kwekweza. These people were tortured at the airport, right? At Robert Mugabe Airport. That's where they were tortured. I'm talking about our brothers and sisters. To a point where a pregnant woman was actually watching, mindful, so that she cannot be violated by this man. And these guys are working under the regime of Emerson Mnangagwa, a president. You see that? So a pregnant woman who is expecting a child is guarding, watching another young woman being tortured right under your nose. To make it make sense, what kind of a society is that? Make it make sense that Emma, as I'm pregnant, I watch another woman. When I've got a child, I'm expecting to come back to the world. Right? I'm expecting my child to be in the world. I can only imagine. When I went to the hospital and my brother had just had a child, I hold this innocent child and I made it clear to my family. I said to my brothers, you have two choices to make. Either to make this child great by investing the right words, the right teaching, the right counsel, or you will destroy the life of this child because she came from heaven innocent. By injecting evil and toxicity, the choice will be yours. So this woman is pregnant, watching another Zimbabwean person being tortured. That's Mnangagwa's regime. And if someone wants to tell me that ZANU-PF has got capacity to change Zimbabwe, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. They don't have the capacity. I don't buy it. Now, Maboshinomona, okay, Maboshinomona is trending. And there are allegations that she has got a child with Mnangagwa, which does not even bother me at all, okay, because the reports are out there. But what flabbergasted me was how she is saying, no, Baba, no, guys, we need to support you, Baba. Mrs. Shinomona, being in the government is not a family affair. Get this right and get it well. Because you want to hear me speaking, to work in the government is not a family affair, okay? It's not a relationship, body affair. It's serving the people. So if you're thinking that you being part of the regime or where maybe your ex or whatever you call it, I don't know, whatever you guys are doing there, it's none of my business. It gives you moral authority to stand and demand that a person stays in the seat where he can't even deliver because you want to benefit. Then you have got a problem. We have a problem with you, ma'am. We have a problem. But I'm going to read what Crime Watch reported. That a woman alleged that Mabo Shinomona and ED have a child together named Farai Chinomona. She further claims that Mabo Shinomona looted farms and gave one of them to her daughter, Farai. In a Facebook post, the woman wrote, Mabo Shinomona is desperately trying to defend her lover and the father of a child, Farai Chinomona. Farai has a looted farm in Mashonaland East, but we will reclaim it. After all, it's one man, one farm, and their family. Enjoy the farm while it lasts, along with your looting at the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe. No wonder Mabo is loudly supporting ED 2030. Like I said, the issue of Zimbabwe is not a relationship affair. If you are dating someone, don't bring your love of bodies into the service space of Zimbabwe. We don't care about what you're doing in your private life. But do not try the Zimbabwean people, because we have suffered under this regime and we stand firmly to say this regime needs to fall for good. ZANU-PF needs to be destroyed. They're unprincipled. You also heard Comrade Geza say the very same thing, that these people don't stand for anything. You heard them clapping hands. Okay. Clapping hands. You heard Mnangagwa talking about this party. Which party? There is no party. You hear as we move along what Simbamakon said. There is no party. You also know that Mnangagwa just got himself new cars, and one car costs about $50,000 recently. How many cars does Mnangagwa have top of the range? Now you got other vehicles for himself. Why the country is bleeding to death? Hospitals, people are suffering, the food, kids are dying, mothers are dying. This guy is living lavish lifestyle. He came just to sponsor his lifestyle and the lifestyle of his children and concubines, all types of things that are happening there, which is none of my business. But I'm focusing on, he has failed the Zimbabwean people. Dokodo says, Satan, Emerson Mnangagwa, the devil, selfish, wicked concubine, Comrade Chinomona, now they're referring to Mabo Chinomona. They shall fall together and Zimbabwe shall claim everything from these families from hot hell. Everyone is angry. Zimbabweans are mad. You know, I understandably so. But you can see that now Mabo Shinomona is attacking Chiwenga. Okay, she's attacking heavily Chiwenga. And but a question that I have for you, Zimbabweans, do you think Chiwenga has capacity to fix Zimbabwe? It's a question I have for you. Please comment in the comment section, because they'll come and read. I'll tell you what I think about it. I have been saying, whether Chamisa, Chiwenga, Mnangagwa, any politician that can come in Zimbabwe will not survive under the political banner. I repeat, will not survive under a political banner. And I will defend and back up my personal submissions. My views are very clear, and the reasons are, The political systems in Zimbabwe are corrupted, okay? These systems are completely rotten to the core. We can see even some of the guys who masquerade as opposition leaders, how they are looting. We saw the Mapume thing recently. So for me, I'm confused as far as politics is concerned. What I genuinely believe that anyone who takes the reins as a leader in Zimbabwe, post-Mnangagwa era, can only survive if that person do away with all these structures of ZANU-PF. You can never survive in politics in Zimbabwe under the banner of ZANU-PF. Never. You will never make it. The reason is their systems are already rotten. These systems are built on a platform of evil. So you really cannot have anything new while you are hanging on a thread. You are clutching on wickedness. Guys, these are the very same systems that you remember that you saw young people beating up elders. That was in Murewa. Do you recall that? Okay, these are ZANU-PF systems. These are ZANU-PF systems where you saw them in Bulawayo, where they stripped some of the Triple C naked. Mothers walked naked with their only bras. Do you recall that? ZANU-PF systems. These are the systems in the 80s that actually went and killed innocent people in Bulawayo in the Gukurahundi time. ZANU-PF systems. These are the systems that have been abducting, that have been torturing, that have been eliminating people. They are ZANU-PF systems. So these systems are built on wickedness, satanic, diabolical, devilish acts. Tell me any person who dares and dine in the camp of the enemy who can be able to tell you that, no, I think I've reformed and now be able to give you a better country. First and foremost, without no apology at all. There's no apology first and foremost. Only person who apologized was Geza. No one apologized. I said Mugabe went to the grave fighting for position. He did not fight for the Zimbabwean people. I was expecting him to come out and say, yo, I'm sorry for what I've done, for how much I've hurt you. No, Mugabe did not apologize. He fought for the position. He went to the grave angry for the position, not for Zimbabweans who were suffering. I never heard him talk about the people who were dragged on the streets. I never heard him talk about those that were going to bed without on empty stomach. I never heard him talking about the children who are dying in hospitals because the hospitals are ill-equipped. No, all those shenanigans, he never spoke about them. But the only thing he focused on was his power. Okay, let me drink some water, y'all. I ask you their question. Do you think Chiwenga has capacity to lead the people of Zimbabwe? And I want to hear what you guys think. But let's listen to Simba Makone, please. Simba Makone answered that question very clearly. Let's listen to him. Take a listen, please.
At the time also, there used to be conversation around the old guard. People thought we were doing things the way we did because we were old. We didn't appreciate the modern world. We were stuck in our ways in Chimoyo in the camps. But how many generations have taken leadership in ZANU-PF in the last 40 years? And how many of them behave differently from the old guard? It's a culture. It's deeply ingrained. So I don't think ZANU-PF can reinvent itself. Kanu and UNIP lost power and conceded. ZANU-PF will not. So for you, they will not head the way of Kanu and UNIP. But ZANU-PF ceased to exist among the people a long time ago. It was a conversation I had with President Mugabe before I left. You know, we have structures of leadership. So you can call your DCC, you can call your provincial executive, you can call your central committee, but with that, and it's a inflation of party and state. If you want a rally at Muzokomba, the GMB, ZESA, ZINWA, they've sent their trucks out into the village to bus people to the... How many of those are genuine card-carrying members of the party? And how many are coming because Kuchajiwa Nyama, or because vanzi kwirairori nasabuku. So the demise of the party has been long with us. We deceive ourselves that because we can convene a congress or conference of 7,000 people because we've sent buses and trains to come to the congress venue, therefore we are among the people. The party ceased a long time ago to be among the people. Wow.
I love that. The party sees. It's very clear that there's no more ZANU-PF party. Everything is a game. For them, it's a game, woodwinking people, deceiving innocent people, hoping that we are going to be sitting and watch them just running this country to the dungeon. People loot with impunity, okay? Not only do they loot, they all come back and start eating in front of you and start treating you like you're crazy. This is the ZANU-PF that is masquerading as a party. There's no party in Zimbabwe. That's why I'm saying anyone who seems to be to embrace or even pacify these structures is bad for the country. Any person who comes in saying, no, good man, you have no political structure, is bad for Zimbabwe. A leader who's genuine and authentic understand that, no, Zimbabwe comes first. Look at Mnangagwa. Every time he's wearing that badge, ZANU-PF. And I'm looking at this man, I'm asking, sir, what are you doing here? Are you in for Zimbabwe or you're in for your own personal gain? He doesn't care. It's all about there's no party, but he wants to sow a lie that there is a party. Okay, it exists. It stopped existing long. Listen to Dr. Simpamakoni. It stopped in his time, and here we are. Many years, 20-something years. Mnangagwa was still selling this lie that there is ZANU-PF. There's no party. It's gone. But anyway, those that are alive, that have been pushing Mnangagwa's campaign, that was during the election time. I want to read what Wombe said. He said, constructive criticism is the epitome of patriotism. He's responding to Mnangagwa. He said, hear no evil, see no evil. Bootlicking is self-mutilating hurt, which cannot be equated to patriotism. When comrades do things that are out of order, contrary to the dictates of the party, we should call them to order without any fear of victimization. Do you know Guarare Msangano Iroro? But there's no more. They're trying to say, maybe we can save this whole thing. Guys, ZANU-PF as a party is dead like a dodo. Do you remember when they were mocking Chamisa that his Triple C party was dead like a dodo? I think right now I should be allowed and really authorized to use this expression, ZANU-PF is dead like a dodo. In fact, it died long time ago. Now that we have a man who is a mouthful, I've seen most of you are following him. Okay, I also listened to most of his views. I call Nyokayema Bonus statements views because all the stuff he is talking about, we have known them for years, for decades, that Zimbabwe is not functioning. You know, there's nothing new about what he's talking about. There's also an element of he speaks, he wants to rob most of these politicians. Listen, I've spoken to some of these politicians. They said, we don't even know this guy. We don't even know what he's talking about. We don't even know what he's referring to. However, he again recently said a lot of stuff. And I want you to listen to him very carefully, and I'll tell you what I think. Most of the stuff that Nyoka Mabuni is talking about, we know them. They're not new. They've always been there, okay? For decades, actually. So, you know, you need to listen to what he says right now. And I will tell you my take on it. He is speaking and kind of roping some of the opposition guys in there, etc., etc. And these dudes are saying, we don't even know the guy what he's talking about. And I'm like, yo, what do you mean? They said, no. We don't even know what he's talking about. He's talking on behalf of ZANU-PF factional fights. It's not our thing. We don't want to get involved. It's this country, we have had enough, y'all. We've had enough. We need to restart. Take a listen, please.
My comrades, muka say, aka mangwana nano, mamari ngakuite zvakanaka nemudzimu yose. Zvinhu zvinosuisa ende zvinhu zvinonyadzisa zvikuru zviri very legendary. Kuti January takafirwa nemadzimai akanga akazvitakura anosvika 200 something. Takafirwa nevana vanga vakubarwa patime yekunge vachibarwa vanosvika ivo 270 something muna January chete. Kumburikidza nezvipatara zvedu nekuti hazvina kumira zvakanaka. Health iri bankrupt kuburikidza nembavha dzakatora mari dzakaenda nayo. dzichitengera vanhu motikari. Zvinhu zvinonyadzisa ende hatina kuzvitaurira. Asi danho rinoshanda nderekuti isu tobatana sevana vomunhu mumwe titosumuka toti aiwaka enough is enough. So vechidiki, it's up to us to choose champagne for a few people or clean water for all of us. Pane zvinhu zvokuti unopiwa champagne muri tu monwa motanga kusapota zvinhu zvisingaramise vanhu. Hatina kwatinoenda.
My apologies.
Motanga kusapota zvinhu zvisingaramise vanhu. Hatina kwatinoenda nenyika as long tatora gwara rakafanana nairo. Nyika yedu iri kuda kuti tibatane. Nyaya yekuzondana yekusikera muchitukana mumagroups umo. Ningi mutengesi chinotengeswa chiko munyika imomo. Hamuna chichatengeswa chinotengeswa chiko. Nyaya inofana kupera atide. Tinoda kuti mureforme mune zvematongerwo enyika mukudze rudo, the spirit of togetherness. Ndo yatinochemera zvokusikera muchitukana undichamisa mutengesi kasukwere mutengesi ningi mutengesi hazvina zvazvinosolva panhau yatakatarisana nayo. Only kubatana ndo kunopa kuti tiende mberi. Saka takati nhau yatakatarisana nayo iyoyo haisi yema-individual, ndevana veZimbabwe, haisi yemapato bodo, ndeyedu tose kuti tigadzirise nyika yedu, tione kuti tagadzirisa upfumi hwadzoka kuvanhu. Pane vanhu vari kusautsira nzira yedu vachiita senhundira mutsime nemhara patsetsetse, vachityisidzira vanhu nenzira yekuti isu tinoda vanoda Mnangagwa maningi ende anofanira kuita life president. Let it be clear kuti zvamaita izvozvo zvakwana ende takazviona. Time yekuti tidzire nemi iri kusvika ende madays ari kuuya iwani. Tine vanhu vakafanana Mudekunye akabirira election achishandisa masimba ekuti anowirirana naMnangagwa, akatorera MP kuna chinotimba chinozwi wanodiwa nevanhu ndiye akawina primary election asi akabirirwa. Zvese zvetozviziva. Mudekunye akapinzwa nenyaya yekuti anoshandiswa nemabhuru aMnangagwa nevana vaMnangagwa. Zvino akabirira election ikoko akapinda saMP, asi ikoko vanhu vasafa, vanhu vachema mhere isingagumi. Anoenda ikoko achinoginyabvura lendi, anoginyabvura mamainzi, anoita sezvaanoda, hapana anomutsura, including kutorova chaiko vanhu. Hapana anonoripota, kana even kana akaripota nyaya dzacho dzinongotsikwa-tsikwa dzotopera dzakadaro. Uniwoyo unofana kupera ende iye Mudekunye achauya tichamisa pamberi pevanhu apa ugodaira nhau dzake. Tikudziziva, tine nyaya dzese zvese zvaakaita takazvisa mukombiyuta, tikuzvisa mukombiyuta, takatozvisa mukombiyuta, ugona deal with him. Garwewo akatuma vanhu vakaenda kunoabducta honorable Jinda Guru, vakamurova zvakaipisisa vamaabducta ikoko, vakaenda vakamutaya vakamutorera foni vakamurwisa. Nyaya idzodzo dzese tiri kudziziva, takadzisa mukombiyuta. Kana time yakwana Garwe dakumuunza apa tichamubvisa hembe. Don't worry. Musazouya pamberi pedu maya kuti muri kuita utsinye. Vanhu vedu vatambudzwa zvakwana, vanhu vedu varohwa zvakwana. Isu tichatsiva, I'm telling you. Time yekutsiva ichauya. Garwe zvauri kuita izvo tiri kuzviziva. Mukwedza pamanikalenda apa anoita zvaanoda, anotumira vanhu, anoshandisa mapurisa achikuda nepfute vachidii. Musazoti titanyanya kana taakudzora, both time yacho ichakwanawo. Handi mazinzira. Nekuti nawo zvakanyararwa, Jinda Guru akaabductwa, akarohwa, akatorwa foni, hapana ari kutaura nezvazvo. Isi takanyarara, handirika. Anyway, kana time yedu yekuti revenge yakwana, musazoti no, imimisei maakuita zvakati, musazotibata. Pane mamwe maland barons ari kuside kwanana Mutokoko ari kushandiswa zvakare. Endai muvataurire, kana pane vanhu kwaMutoko panapa, endai muvataurire, takomana zvamuri kushandiswa namebo chinomuona muchibira vanhu mari mamwe wacho makansela vamwe vari kunational executive vanoshandiswa namebo chinomuona iwezve vanotretena vanhu nenzira yekuti vanoda Mnangagwa maningi vachiti ngaafire pachigaro. Pana anonzi Ado Nyakudanga isendero committee member yeyo atimanzwa. Pana anonzi Shaileti Dandara ndikansera yeyo. Pana anonzi Martha Mudiwakure iprovincial member. Kuna anonzi Nyarai Chura ndikansela. Kuna anonzi Chiguna. Kuna Chipo Shambari kansela. Kuna Chris Saidi provincial member. Kuna Alfred Gui ani mazinzisa. Kuna Tendai Mahara kansela. Kuna Robson Jembere kansela. Irende bara nekugumisiza remhando yepamusoro kuti rinoenda ichikisidzira kanzuro achitora mastendi nenyaya kuti ada kupa vana musangano opa vana musangano kana 5 iyo bva atora mastendi acho 90 otengesa achiita zvaanenge achiita. Time iyo iri kupera. Nyika ndeyevanhu toda kuti tigadzise nyika idzokere kuvanhu. Handi mazvizwisa. Pana anonzi Mapira Saunga ndikansela zvakare. Handi mazvona. Pana anonzi Seti Milambwa. Ine ndi Baron. Vanhu vandokutaurira ava varume musazotibata musazotidzora. Because tida kuzonatsodhira nevanhu zvemhando yelevel pamusoro. Because nyika iri kutambudzika. Ichitambudzika kudai so panoita vamwe vanhu vanenge vachiti zvinhu zviri right even zviri wrong. Handi mazvona. Saka ngazvizikanwe kuti tada kugadzira Zimbabwe yakabatana but vanhu vese vari kutautira vari kuabducta vanhu hatisizombowasiya vanhu ivavo. We are going to deal with them permanently. Hatisizombofodha maoko edu. Zvokunzi chitema achidzorerwa zvezveaiwa kozoita itu timu twovarakashi tunosikera tichiita zvisane basa sechitukana gomwe tichituka nhingi tichitaura zvisane ndisati atakati aiwa kuti tivake Zimbabwe yakanaka ngatichisiyai slogan yekuti pasina nhingi but tutonoti kana isi takatsotiwo pasina nhingi vedu wacho vari kunzi pasina nhingi aone here kuti kupererwa ikoko kuti hanzi murume mukuru anoenda parari unotaura kuti hanzi pasina gomwe pasina nhingi nasenengama pasina nyoka yemabhuru hazviripiti pedignity izvozvo. Saka isu manje tatopindawo imomo takutotiwo pasineni futi. Hati mazvona indo zvatakutoita izvozvo ende ngazvizikanwe hapana chiri kudzokera kumashure. Nawe ndiri kutaura nhasi ndeyekuti demonstration iri kuuya. Vamwe vari kuti Geza wacho hatichavimba naye inda anoendera futi haadzoke. Aiwa be patient. Kumhanya hakusi kusvika. Chingungu ndengu chiri kurongwa chichinatsorungwa munyu. Handi mazvinzisa. Chamhine munyu iri kuuya. Muchamuona Geza ari kuuya musarasa henyu tariro. Remember kuti vana veIsraeri vari munzira yatarisana neKenani vari kuenda kuKenani. Kune vamwe vakatomboti Moses iwewe tidzorere kuKenani. Futi hausi right. Vakatombomupandukira in the way. Saka dai muri vamwe magona kuita patience. Takambokutaurira nyaya yaNoah kuti kumazuva aNoah kune vamwe vakatopanduka vambenga vavakangara zvakanaka vakadzokera kumashure. Nekuda kwekushaya patience munhu iva nepatience whatever you do iva uri munhu anoita patience. Saka hapana chiri kudzokera kumashure. Musambopa zvenyu makanyeperwa ende itai mobilization kwese kwamuri. Takataura kudhara takati chinhu ndechevanhu hachisi cheZANU-PF hachisi cheCCC ndechevana veZimbabwe. Hatirwadziwe isu kuti tione kana nhingi Osanos ari minister welocal government. Hatimborwadziwe isu. Hatirwadziwe kana kuona wokuCCC ari kana minister wenhingi wemamwe maportfolios. Hatina kana mhosva nazvo isu. Handi mazvona. Hatirwadziwe isu kuona even aninana apinda pafinances vomwe achiziva zvaanoita. Hatine mhosva nazvo isu. Nekuti chinangwa chedu kaisu hachisi chemaministry kaisu. Chinangwa chedu hachisi chekuisa mari muhomwe kaisu vamwe. Ndechekuti nyika yagadzirwa here health care sai kufirwa nevanhu. Unoziva kuti chinhu chakakoshesesa pasi pano upenyu hwomunhu. Ukaona vakadzi unoziva here kuti vakadzi pavanobara pai vane time yekuti kana iye akasvika pakukundika kuti apushe mwana anomba achienda kuC section. KuC section kwacho kuneiko chiriko. Ende hapo munhu akupararwa neupenyu mwana ari mudumbu omba apa futi. Ndikutaura zvinhu zviri pachena zvinhu zvine information zvinhu zvine exhibit zvokuti January ega takafirwa nevakadzi vanosvika 250 something. Takafirwa nevana vanoita 270 something. Patime yebirthday kuti vabatsirwe. tonzwana tuarakashi tiri kupa mafoni tikuva tichitarazana basa semusocial media tonzwari madhezi akwana chaibva kachinichi madhezi akwana pachamhanywa zviri very legendary gaiti kutaurirei pachamhanywa zviri very legendary hapana chiri kudzoka kumashure hane mazinzwiza pachamhanywa zviri very legendary.
Let me tell you, I think I've got a name for Nyoka Mabun. I don't want to talk about Nyoka. Whenever I'm seeing Mr. Legendary, you know I'm referring to Nyoka Mabun. I think we need to give him a new name, Mr. Legendary. And I've got reasons why I say so. There's something fascinating about his speeches. He's always saying, Van Marukuti, Gudo Guru, Gudo Guru. Who is Gudo Guru? Is referring to Chiwenga, right? And I'm asking myself questions. Guys, did you actually say you want Chiwenga to lead you? Did you guys say that? I want you to comment in the comment section. Did you say that to Nyoka Mabun or to anyone to say you want Chiwenga to come and be your leader? Did you say that? Okay, so when he's saying that, whom is he referring to, if I may ask? It's definitely a factional issue. So these guys, all their fights, is their fights that we are being dragged into. And one of what everything that's being said here is everything to do with the opposition. He says some of them said we don't even know what they're talking about. Yes, what Geza said is exactly what we believe in as Zimbabwean people. We believe in everything that Geza said. We have been saying most of them, right? And then when he came out there, he endorsed what Zimbabweans have always been saying. Not only endorsing, there's also an element of him actually being able to open an open conversation lane that has been blocked for decades. Geza came in and cleared that lane. Although we are not yet reaching to Mnangagwa himself, who is still adamant and just lying to himself, because those gatekeepers who are around him are busy lying. They should be telling the truth. They are lying to him. Say, no, sir, no, Zimbabweans want Mnangagwa gone before 2017, okay? Before 2017, the time of Gugura Hundi, Zimbabwe did not want Emerson Mnangagwa. So, yeah, this out, very clear. Then there's also the element that, you know, he spoke about Chamisa here, but there's something that I'm seeing going on social media right now. I'm going to deal with that a bit later in detail. But there are people who are alleging that Chamisa was given money. All those were lies that were manufactured to soil Chamisa's name. Remember, ZANU-PF knows most of these guys are deceptive. Guys, ZANU-PF, most of these guys are deceptive, especially politicians. They lie. Okay, they will lie to you and they say something else. They say something that goes to the right and then they turn to the left. I'm simply trying to say that be sober and be vigilant, be smart and be wiser. Don't be used and dumb. Okay? I've always been saying the people that started this movement should come back and say whatever they say. Not all other guys who are just dropping stuff across social media. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Because people are coming and accuse Chamisa of being given money. A lie, pushing that one. That one will twat it just like that. There's also an element of saying that right now as we speak today, there's an article that Newsworks dropped, being written by the guy who has been part of ZANU-PF, attacking Nelson Chamisa. Then I'm sitting here and I'm asking, I'm like, guys, why do you waste our time? You must not also forget that article where it was introducing the military rule, right? This military rule that was being introduced was simply imposed on Zimbabweans. It's not like Zimbabweans, what do you think about this country? No, it's imposed. If you impose something on me, I don't have power to question it. But if you say to me, let's have a conversation, then I have power because we started together. We can also walk together right in the process. You see this? That's one of the reasons why most marriages in Zimbabwe are falling apart, because our country has always been built on a platform authoritarian. So most men from Zimbabwe believe in being authoritarian towards their relationship partners, not a husband. They are bully, most of them toxic to the core, because it's our culture. It doesn't believe in, let's converse. What do you think, sweetheart? What do you think we should do in this house? How can we raise our children? What are you saying? Can we go and buy this? No, it's just bullying and screaming and shouting. I'm not surprised when I see all that's happening in our society. It emanates from our family culture of bullying, abusive, very, very abusive. And I'm serious, abusive. I see when I compare the two, because now I'm more of a South African than I can be of a Zimbabwean. And when I say this, I'm not saying I am. It's because I've been in South Africa more than I was in Zimbabwe. And I'm seeing the difference here. There's so much abuse in Zimbabwe that we have normalized. For Mnangagwa to sit in the meeting, disregarding fathers and mothers, grandmothers and grandfathers, and be busy being rude in front of them, it says a lot about us as a people. It's not even about politics at all. It says a lot. We have accommodated nonsense for far too long. And now it has become a culture. Anyone can do whatever they want and they get away with it. And I know some of you've been wanting me to address nonsense that's going on social media. Here I am, I'm sitting in my house, I'm having tea and I'm laughing, I'm reading my book. I'm like, yo, what do you want me to say? I have nothing to say. If someone decides to scream and shout and be ranting, give them a platform. Zimbabwe is a broken society. So people are just ranting. Okay, and trust me, most people are mentally ill. Komichi said it. He said 40% of the Zimbabwean people are mentally deranged. And actually sent this message to my friend, and my friend returned back and said, Ruby, that's not true. 70% of Zimbabweans are mentally ill. You see this? It's caused by our culture. Yekutaza sit around the table, just guys sitting around the table, and you have a breakfast where we converse about national issues. No, in Zimbabwe, it's not like that. We are failing simple things. So what happened to us? Because we used to be like that, right? We allowed politicians, wicked politicians, to destroy our walls. And the only way to rebuild them is to push away nonsense and restart. So when you came up with saying, oh, he says, I can hear he's talking about what's going on in ZANU-PF, the factional fights. And here I am as Rumbi looking from a distance. I'm like, but these are your internal fights. We're not interested with that. Let's talk about Zimbabwe as a country and its people. Allow the Zimbabwean people across the board, including diaspora though, let's converse. How can we resuscitate? How can we restore sanity? How can we rebuild our walls? How can we have love again? How can we hold each other's hands? How can we believe in each other? How can we start promoting purpose? How can we allow our children who have been dragged here and be reinserted? How can we speak about prisons today? Our prisons, they're saying they are disgusting. You know why? Because we don't actually know that prisons are not a punishment place. Prisons are a correctional service, okay? It's a place where we assist those who either did not listen to their parents or did not get good counsel or they did not get counsel at all. And then we can say, listen here, brother, you have a purpose. God has called you for something greater. How can we help you to be better? How can we resuscitate you into the society? No, but no, we've made it. This country is broken to the core. Because we lost it at a family level, at a culture level. You know, it hurts me every time when I look at what happens to South Africans, Congolese, Nigerians, different cultures. They're still embedded within something so special. That's why the Ndebele people in our home, even the Venda people, are still intact. The culture. We don't have it. Shona people, where is our culture? Where are we today? What's our traditional attire? I see you always wearing either Nigerians or you may put it on Zambian. Every time you get married, where is our culture? We lost everything because politicians worked 24/7 to destroy our loins. What connects us? What makes us human? You know, we have lost the love for each other. We allow abusive characters to take center stage. And we watch while they destroy everything. We watch that. Because, and I'm saying this we watch because ZANU-PF people, I'm expecting them to destroy this destruction. I'm expecting fathers and mothers today to stand up and say it is enough. When Mnangagwa calls a meeting, they don't attend. And say, no, sir, we want this country to be fixed. No, they will not do that. You know why? Because they're benefiting. That's the problem right there. That's the problem. Because you are benefiting. You can see someone being tortured, killed, because you know what I was expecting when they pulled people out of the plane? I was expecting those in the plane to stand up and say, pull these people back. Tell us, why are you taking them? That's the Zimbabwe that we need, protecting each other, believing in one another. But no, everyone is just each man for himself. We allowed wicked politicians to bring all this stupid divide and rule nonsense. Today, we are enemies of each other. Someone right now, as I'm speaking, they think of how they can hurt me. You see this? Somebody sent me a message yesterday and said to me, do you still stay where you used to stay? I said to him, what do you mean? Where do I used to stay? And I laughed. I said, you fool. You're a fool. Man, if you try me, you're the one that will die. I've got people who protect. South Africa don't play games. You'll be gone. Try it if you think it's a joke. I'm in business. Try it. You're stupid. You can't protect each other. Rather, you gather to hate your own brother, to hate your own sister. Right now, you are gathering to write stupid articles to try to sow your own brother. And you call me you're serious about fixing Zimbabwe. People should never trust politicians of this nature. You are not talking about making Zimbabwe a better place. You are focusing on destroying someone. Make it make sense to me that you're serious. And you tell me that's politics. You're stupid. You're not serious. You gather to destroy other people, not to build Zimbabwe. You're not talking about kids who are being drugged. You're not talking about young people who are not selling their bodies for survival. You're not talking about people who go to bed on empty stomach. You're not talking about hospitals that are dilapidated. You are busy sponsoring toxicity so that you can be at the front. Zimbabwe, don't be dumb. You should never allow any person to be a leader who sponsors evil. That person do not have any leadership quality. You know what they will do? They will not stop. They'll be worse when the power is on them. Allow people who are morally grounded, morally, strong, respectful, who have the best interest of saying, I need to grow a person. I need to believe it. A leader will say, no, it's okay, someone can go to the front. What I will do is I will support them. That's why I said to you earlier on, anyone who's going to take the reins post-Mnangagwa era, I will support them. Not because I believe, not because I want this country to work, because I want children to be served. I want the society to function. Something doesn't make sense. You are sponsoring wrong on the streets, hatred on the streets. All that you are seeing, people screaming, shouting, calling me names. I'm just hearing bits and pieces. I don't listen to garbage. I've got better things to worry. I don't entertain toxic energy. I don't do that. I don't have time. I only focus on people who sign the checks, those who speak about important stuff, those who speaks about building society. I don't waste my time. But I'm saying when people come out, they're trying to soil my name, hoping that they can go to the front. Sorry, ma'am, you are too late. I know my purpose. And no one, absolutely no one will do anything to stop me. None whatsoever. You are too late. Okay? The one that sends me here is the only one who has got capacity to remove me. Okay, so I'm here very much embedded within the season that God has actually assigned me to be part of. So don't worry about your problem. Don't worry about what you see on social media. It's all sponsored. It's well orchestrated. Relax and chill. Focus on the goal to make sure this country works for everybody. It works for all the people. It works for mothers and fathers. It works for brothers and sisters. It works for families. It works for the children. It works for kids that are yet unborn. It works for even our borders. It works for our relatives and friends. It works for other countries who we may want to visit, not to come and exploit our people, beating them up like what Chinese people are doing. That's not what we want to see. We want to see a functioning country that is built on one thing and one thing alone, that is love and unity. Guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. But I'm not going to get involved in ZANU-PF faction or fight. I only want to hear anyone who is pushing on love and unity. They're not sponsor my stupid articles across the push a mileage in politics. It's stupid. Those people are not leadership material. You must wipe them. Let's move. We are not going to entertain people who waste our time on stupid things. People are hungry. Zimbabweans are bleeding. Families are torn apart. You understand? And you can focus on is your power-hungry nonsense. You're not serious. And we are not going to entertain such kind of people. Not in our country, not again, and never again. Zimbabweans, don't be foolish. Stand for what you believe in. Building a country that works for everybody. For generations to come. For children yet unborn. You understand? For your husbands and families. For mothers, for grandparents to live in peace. For people to have pensions that works, to have running water and electricity, roads that are functions, minimum 4-way streets. That's what I'm talking about. A country that is clean, where people respect each other, where they would sponsor hatred. No, no, and I say no. They are not leadership quality. You must discard them before they even start. You came way too late. We are watching you very closely. We are seeing, we can see you, and we will do everything in our power to block that energy. We only want positive energy to make Zimbabwe great again. Guys, drop what you think in the comment section. We'll talk about so many people later on. There's a lot going on. Guys, it's a lot. We thought we were talking about something that will make Zimbabwe greater, but no. There are some people with their own hidden agendas, and they already started. It's very toxic out there, and we need to put a stop to it. We need to do everything in our power to put a stop. And I love you guys. Bless you and bless Zimbabwe. Be sober, vigilant, smart, and wiser. The enemy has come for one thing, to steal, kill, and destroy. But listen, but the God that I serve, he said you have overcome the world. You're stronger than you think. God will give us the wisdom and counsel to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond what anyone can ever imagine, for the sake of destiny. I love you people. Bless you and bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.